everyone. In the third day of the presentation, I am going to discuss about Friends Finance, the Wretch of the Earth, and psychology of colonial violence. These are the personal information. These are the points which are I am going to discuss. First, introduction of writer Franz Fanon. Franz Fanon was a French psychiatrist, political philosopher, and Marxist from the French colony of Martinique. His works have become influential in the field of post-colonial studies, critical theory, and Marxism. Fanon was a political radical and a Marxist humanist connected with the psychopathology of colonialization and the human social and cultural consequences of decolonization. In the course of his work as a physician and psychiatrist, Fanon supported the Algerian War of independence from France and was a member of the Algerian National Liberation Front. His notable works are Dying Colonialism, Black Skin, White Skin Towards the African Revolution, and The Wretch of the Earth. The fact that Fanon was a psychiatrist was to have a major impact on his analysis of the Third World Revolution. On the other hand, it was to lead him to underestimate the importance of social and economic structures and consequently to overrate the possibilities of change. His work, The Wretch of the Earth. Franz Fanon, The Wretch of the Earth is a book first published in 1961. It is the most widely read of the books to emerge from the third world of halo of the post-war period. It has been translated into 16 language and reached international audience. It is widely held as the most passionate and brilliant analysis of the process of the decolonization. The Wretch of the Earth is a book of a particular moment in history, but also of a stage of development of political consciousness in the third world. In the book, author writes about the psychoanalysis of the dehumanizing effects of colonizations upon the individuals and the nation, and discuss the broader social, cultural, and political implications of establishing a social movement for the decolonization of a person and of a people. The French language title derives from the opening lyrics of the international anthem. Through critics of the nationalism and the imperialism, Fanon present a discussion of a personal and societal mental health, a discussion of how the use of language is applied to the establishment of imperialist identities such as colonize to teach and psychologically mold the native and the colonist into their respective roles as a slave and a master. What is the colonialism? Colonialism is a domination of a people or area by a foreign state or nation. The practice of extending and maintaining a nation's political and economic control over another people or area. Colonialism is rooted in the Latin word colonus, which was used to describe tenant farmers in the Roman Empire. Missionary were active in practically all of the European controlled colonies because the metropoles were Christian. The psychology of colonial violence. It was violence of a settler against the indigenous cape. It was back into the everyday experience of empire, at least in the early stages of settlers' colonial states. Features of the psychology of colonial violence. It was quotidian, almost everyday in character, and it was a personal. It was outside of the big event violence like the Indian uprising of 1857. Second, its demographics impact on the indigenous populations could be profound. Anxiety and fear contain another subjective component that is also counterintuitive to how we typically think of the hegemon of the empire. Franz Fanon's The Wretched of the Earth and the Psychology of Colonial Violence. Franz Fanon's The Wretched of the Earth is both a sociological and psychiatric analysis of the devastating effect of colonialism upon the colonized individuals and the society. The book is based on Franz Fanon, the dehumanizing experiences in his native Algeria, then under colonial France. It reveals the devastating consequences of colonizations on personal and societal psyches and mental health. The cathartic values of violence reveals the influence of Fanon's psychodynamic trading. He uses a great deal of Freudian metaphor in this treatise. For example, in discussing the need to release the built-up tension in the colonialized, he writes, the natives' relation takes precisely the form of a muscular orgy in which the most acute aggressivity and the most impelling violence are canalized, transformed, and conjured away. Conclusion. For Fanon, the anti colonial struggle takes a common form of resolving the dialectic. Only a violent resolution would heal the mental health of the wretch. He writes, violence is a cleansing force. It frees the native from his inferiority complex and from his despair and inactions. It makes him fearless and restores his self respect. So, the book is both a sociological and a psychiatric analysis of the disadvantageous effects of colonizations upon the individuals and the society. These are the references. Thank you. Now you can ask me a question.
Payal, do you think we can apply this idea of psychology in our lives?
Uh, yes, we can apply his ideas of psychology in our lives. If some people or some people struggle by his or her own mistakes and his or her uh, any kind of problems with society and with so they Franz Fanon's his writing and work uh, writing is very useful uh, for refreshing our minds and for a happy life.
Payal? In the Wretched of the Earth, Fanon explored the role of national consequences and identity in the process of decolonization.
Yes, the Wretch of the Earth fell and explored the role of national consciousness and identity in the process of decolonization. Uh, their decolonization is not in the economics and not only in the politics, but it also connected with cultural identities, cultural unities, and cultural heritage. So thank you.
Okay, a very quick feedback.